Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another scene for the living world of darkness, Rage Across New York. Antics across New York? Yes. Yes, I think so. We are setting this scene at the Seeker's Cabin because it's fucking convenient and I can, so there. And I imagine that we will zoom in to the view from the porch, wherein God knows what Aiden's doing. It's probably self-destructive. 10 Point is probably again busy at picking away at a small piece of bone, well, antler, to be more accurate, and doing her best to carve this tiny, well, practically a bead, really, out of one of the slivers of antler from one of her previous sheds. So yeah, she'll be fairly focused on that, though if Aiden is out on the porch, he will of course have an ear kind of tipped to him as a matter of course.
Aiden is actually pacing around the porch, like on his phone, rapidly looking up a few things. And he'll kind of look up at 10 Point. So, like, flowers, that's good, right? So, should I get something else? Because those gifts really felt like a dowry, 10 Point.
She blinks a time or two. I couldn't say, Raya. I have never been personally involved in an arrangement like this.
Yeah, forgot about that shit. He kind of like rubs his chin. Like, yeah, actually. You're probably the worst person I could ask about that. Okay. Paces around a bit more and
She
lights a
firms
cigarette.
her lips a little bit.
But you turn. Well, give me your opinion then, Omega. What would you do?
Perhaps continue, Raya, to send single flowers with notes wrapped about the stems?
Okay.
Perhaps small baubles, rings, so that no one is too ostentatious, but the eventual value of the entirety is still something of note.
You did see the gifts she's after getting us, didn't you? He kind of gives her like a stare. It's actually quite. He actually looks quite like daunted by the whole process.
I did hear you in the pack link, Raya, but no.
And he will motion her and hiss some of the kinfolk out of the way, basically. Like, ugh, like from the thing from the Fifth Element, basically. Chris, what you call him? Yeah, as he's walking by, um, and in very, like obviously he's obviously put them in very like neat places. But the first thing he'll hand her is like a little short sword, and when you draw it, it's fine craftsmanship. That's for Balian.
And, well, things are plunked in her hand, and she will, in fact, draw it slightly to get a look at the blade itself to see whether it's decorational or functional. It's decidedly functional, and he says it's for Balian, and she damn near drops it and frantically hands it back and begins kind of wiping her hands on her sides.
Right, forgot. And kind of just gently lays it down, and then he'll open up the box with the jewelry in it, and he will point at it, that's for Banshee.
And again, she'll lean over to Pier, nodding.
And well, she got a gift for you, Omega.
That draws a something of a really earnest kind of startled look. Did he know?
She knows. She knows. The way she explained it to me is you are to receive the gift when we as a pack feel you have done your duty.
There's kind of a brow quirk there, seeing as some definitions of do her duty would mean she'd be a little on the dead side to appreciate it.
I think she means, we said quite earnestly, I think she means when you have completely outshone yourself and in a service for the pack, apart from obviously dying, I think.
And she'll take a moment and process that. And there will be like a brief, like, kind of wave of guilt that issues out in the pack link, since, like, obviously unintentionally.
Be a quirk of the brow then. What are you feeling guilty over?
And she starts to say it's nothing and then thinks better of it. And then the guilt gets worse.
Come on, out on the porch. And kind of like close the gifts very tender. And she noticed he's wearing a very fancy, like, Rolex type watch. It's incredibly well crafted, you can tell.
Absurdly expensive Rolex.
Absurdly expensive. Fucking hell. Like, you can tell even Aiden's looking like, I am not used to this much money on my wrist. As he's walking out. He only does his usual zzz to kinfolk out of the way, basically. And he will sit down on the porch, and one of the kinfolk will hand him a beer, and he'll open it, and he'll gesture for 10 point to sit down.
And she does, on the porch, not on a seat. That would be too much.
Heinous. Scandal.
Scandalous.
Scandalous. And he will look at her. What are you feeling guilty over?
While it is nothing you should be concerned about, Raya, I still have secrets of my own.
Secrets, eh? Secrets are very bad.
I feel, Raya, that this one would be more destructive out in the open than kept to myself.
Here's a quizzical head glance. Now, why is that?
Well, firstly, Raya, it has to do with my duties as a Theurge, and those duties are mine and mine alone. And while the spirits are not offended by what I do, it is possible that the pack could be, and I do not wish to create dissent inside the pack.
Huh.
Yeah, the guilt's like rolling off of her.
So obviously must be something you've done which you feel ways about. If it's that bad, 10 point. So my question is, why don't you don't trust us enough to tell us?
It is not a matter of trust, Raya. It is a matter of pride and emotion, which would twist the facts of it. I feel badly for the potential effects, not for what I do.
Mm-hmm. Nod. Well, if you ever feel like you can tell us, I'll be waiting.
He's making the guilt worse.
He just leans back.
Then she just kind of hangs her head a bit, looking down at her hands where they're set on her lap.
Which sounds like great time for good old Felix to show his ugly mug. Yeah.
Yeah, come in at a high point there, buddy.
Yeah. And he will wait. No, he's gonna roll up with by roll up I mean he's doing his standard power walk through the sept. But at this point he has more of an objective than like get the fuck through and back to my apartment. This objective is towards the secret cabin, and he's coming in hot and stops right at the steps as usual. And he gives a wave to his friends on the porch.
Yeah, and through a cloud of smoke waves at him. Felix Sullivan.
Aiden Lynch, may I join you on your territory?
Step onto my porch, good sir.
And with that, he takes steps up and looks for a seat nearby. He sits down.
Yeah, Aiden will tell the kinfolk to pull a chair out for Felix, basically. You know.
Super green.
Yep, 10 point will remain knelt on the porch, though after a glance back and hearing the voice, we'll give the cursory upward tip of chin.
And he offers a lazy wave of his hand to gesture like, nah, you're good, without actually saying anything.
Yep, she'll go back to staring at her hands.
He sits very very posturous and has this black 3-ring binder on his lap.
Raise an eyebrow at the black 3-ring binder. Is that a marriage license or something, Felix? You getting ready to marry me? You need a wink.
You know, last time we went out, I bought you dinner, so you know we're not quite there yet. Doing a lot of giving, you know. Speaking
high
of
maintenance, he's winking. Playfully, he's taking it clearly in a very good mood.
Speaking of which, I'm here to give more.
Oh.
Yep. And he does a little rat-a-tat-tat of his fingers on the top of the binder, and flips it over, and in the plastic guard cover is a single sheet of white paper. It's like a printout, and in black letters is just the 3 letters SCP.
Aiden takes a breath and looks down. Jesus.
Yep. Over this past month, I've been delving as deep as I can into this. And admittedly, I don't have as much as I'd like, but I've painted a good picture here.
Hmm.
I didn't actually paint anything, I should clarify.
Do like whistle over to 10 point to come over and take a look at this?
I mean, she's right there, but yeah, she'll finally snap her head up and be more attentive to it. Potentially shuffling over to where she can see whatever he's got in his lap, should he see fit to open it and share.
Yeah, he Papa Felix gets ready for story time, and opens her up, and you see is it's like a lot of page protectors, and some of the things in there have like cutouts that have been like glue sticked on.
Has he been scrapbooking?
He has been
very manly scrapbooking.
Very manly. It looks more like conspiracy theory jargon.
Perfect. That's how you manly scrapbook.
Well, yeah. But yeah, it's the first page. He goes over, points at a couple of pictures and text paragraphs and says, all right, so here's what I've got. For here, first thing I found out was that Second Chance Plastics started in San Francisco Bay about 10 years ago by a guy named Simon Green.
Ironic.
Yeah, led by a man named Green. But yeah, it's still headed by this guy. It doesn't have a parent company. It is the parent company, which is, I don't know, kind of surprising. Not gonna lie, but yeah. On that note, it doesn't really have any flips. He flips a page or two, looking through some stuff, and eventually gets to it. Doesn't have doesn't really have anything in the way of side projects. Nothing too big aside from a few rehab hospitals out of state. Simon Green. Now, his Wikipedia, his Facebook, his Twitter pages, they all paint him out to be, kind of like a good guy, I guess, as much as a millionaire activist. But
All right. So,
but the reason why it took about that month is because I started digging deeper. Simon Green really, I don't know. They made him look so nice. There had to be dirt somewhere, and the more I dug, it gets religious, I guess. I found some. Here we go. Some. Wait, hang on. Nope. I have a sound effect for this. Yeah. I got some. Let me see here. Got some. Here we go. Got some gossip articles, conspiracy articles. They all seem to have like sort of the same theme going on. It's some kind of underground religious movement. Yeah, the name is always different, but it's always some kind of underground religious movement. And
all right. Stroke his chin.
yeah, and it's some sort of weird homegrown fundamentalism. Nothing too concrete to support any of this, but like makes up a pretty big percentage of the trash mag stories.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Are there any trends in the actions or goals of the religious movement?
no, it's mostly just, like I said, it's like gossip. Like the only trend I've really seen is that it is a religious movement, and it's kind of like culty, I guess.
Any way to determine where these people might be having their little weird religious things, ceremonies, or any shit like that?
I hadn't found anything yet, but I can keep digging. No, the real juice from all of this, where it culminates, is right here, right there. And this section is divided by a colored tab that says EPA. Now, are you guys familiar with the EPA?
Not really, no.
Shakes her head.
Okay. Over here, we have a government agency known as the Environmental Protection Agency. And I wanted to go here pretty quickly after Simon Green because if it's a reclamation facility, then obviously the EPA is going to have reports and regulations, public shit. So when I dug into this, I didn't, admittedly, I didn't get a whole lot, but there was this one harrowing bit that bugged me. You know, most of it shows the EPA as just being ecstatic about second chance plastics. The reports are amazing on all their practices and policies. I mean, the company's 15% efficiency is like that much higher than the competition. The competition.
Right.
The competition being literally any other reclamation facility in the nation. These guys
All
are,
right. All right.
yeah, number one with some headway, but apparently their process is new and revolutionary. This process of theirs, it doesn't go into detail, and these reports don't actually say exactly what they do, but what it does say here in the comments section and from an article that I read, apparently they plan on sharing this process with other like-minded companies.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. That can't happen.
Yeah. Kind of sits forward. We need to move on this quickly then.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking?
I don't have anything concrete, but all I know is obviously what both of you are thinking. It's that if their facilities breed the corruption of the worm, then it needs to be shut down ASAP.
Aye. Now, we could team together with you and Skovgard and Shady on this, like last time. But the main problem is if we go Umbral side, we're going to have to deal with them again. So we need to figure out a way to block that fog. And you kind of look at 10 Point and the two of you, since you're both the Urges.
I should still be on good terms with the winds, Raya.
In case I'm going to trust you with that 10 point.
Yeah, be a good idea. Get that done as soon as you can.
I'll nod.
Right. Kind of rub his chin. I reckon if you probably bring this to Skovgard and say Seekers are ready to go on it, I'm sure he'll capitalize, right?
Mm-hmm. I really... God. Well, I know ultimately what we do is up to the worm foe. I really want to find out what this process is. Obviously, it involves some level of worm taint, but I just...
Would we not find it when we went in, Raya?
Well, yeah, but I don't know. It feels like we're still going in blind.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Didn't Katja
Oh, yeah.
secure a tour, Raya? Why don't you go with her?
Did she?
She did, aye? Yeah, shit.
When we went to investigate the spill, she spoke to the activists there with their signs, their yelling. And then I believe managed to pass word up that she was interested in doing some sort of piece on the company and their good practices for a blog that I don't think she has, so she may need you anyways to set up something convincing, Raya.
Mm-hmm.
But the intention was to get a tour of the facilities so that she could write about all the good things they were doing, of course.
So she posed as some kind of blogger or journalist?
Nods.
Something like that.
Okay. Let's talk to her about that.
What you could do is get her on the tour. Me and a couple of others could be tracking those places going around the place. Follow the cars, vans.
Mhm.
If they're transporting all around the city like me and Billy and think, we could be in big trouble.
Right.
Depending on what they're producing, if it retains some level of taint from the Banes and they've managed to secure more, it means that every shiny new water bottle has the potential to prepare the drinker to become Fomori.
Exactly. Talk to Kat to see what she says. Maybe for me and a few others like Balin or something. Eric even. Shady. Track down the trucks, see what we can find out.
I dare say, Raya, we've waited long since hearing on this already. We can try to plan, but we may have to move sooner rather than later, lest the effects start before we even have a chance.
Yeah, no, we don't want another broody thing. So I'll probably tell her. He'll just say, look at Felix quite seriously.
All right. Maybe I don't know. Just off the top of my head for a plan. Ain't going in without one, but maybe go in from this recon perspective, and if we see a chance to strike, we take it.
Could work.
They may not let many in, Raya, but it's worth a
I
shot.
still think the cover of the tour is a good idea, and we might be able to use that there then as well.
Worst case scenario, the few that we can get in, the rest can track and follow.
Yeah. No, it's a good idea. Tell Katja you're doing this. Shake that fostering dick around a bit, Felix, and she'll do what she's told and smirk.
Yeah. Been meaning to do that more lately, but well, speaking of sorry.
Talk to Dallas. He goes, you talk to Dallas yet? He's lighting a cigarette.
Yeah. Dallas is very excited.
Aye, she is, yeah, of course.
I gotta say, it's been fun.
Gives him a quirk of a brow.
Well, you know, keeping her on her toes.
Do you think she's going to go back to that place?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Our funeral then? He just shakes his head. Actually looks decidedly disappointed.
10 Point just looks confused.
You better fill in our Omega. He'll turn over very calmly, Myself, Felix, went to a bar. We ran into Dallas there with a few women. They're all women, weren't they? Apart from, what was his name? Barty?
Barty. Yeah, Barty. I think he's
Barty, yeah, the guy at the fucking...
Yeah.
That guy at the fucking Benihana's place.
Yeah.
Blink.
Yeah, that's right. I think somebody else called him something different when we were there.
I don't know. I just heard Dickless repeatedly. I just did whatever. Aiden just shrugs. There's a lot going on.
Christ. Yeah.
He just shrugs. So we met these group of women. And to be honest, he kind of exchanged one glance at Felix. They were a bit unusual. Very unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Do you talk about murder at the dinner table 10 Point? About killing someone?
There's like a slow quirk of brow. And she's been trying to follow this whole time and just kind of looking quizzical. And yeah, that does seem a little strange.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a trap, but it's not a trap. The question.
No, Raya, not generally.
Would you think us as Guru would do that? Out there, click out to the city.
Out in a bar?
Aye.
Not unless we wanted to be targeted by everything in the city or the police.
Pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, that's what they were doing, weren't they? Bragging about it. Then we see Dallas, and she does so Felix and I's suspicions are up, and then Dallas does the inanely stupid thing and announces our names to these people.
Your full name's Raya?
Did she get mine? Yeah, I think she did get our full names, didn't she? Did she get mine? Kind of looks at Felix.
I just remember hearing her say Felix. Admittedly, at that point, I started to get so pissed.
There's a slow face palm happening just to your side.
Yeah, no. Aiden's like, I know.
Exactly that. I immediately did that. Right there. You see that? I did that.
We all did. So I made sure that I wasn't drunk or anything like that with our little gifts that we have. He smirked to himself. And they continued on and got more and more, well, strange. Then Dallas decided to give them, remember those lollipops she was going around handing us that night?
Yeah.
Her face kind of drops like, what?
Aiden gives her like, no, I shit you not stare, you know what I mean?
The plot thickens.
They take said thing, and everything, what happens. MDMA is a very powerful drug, Ooh, he kind of just rubs his chin. Ooh.
Take your word for it, Raya.
But this is the weird bit. So everyone's getting ready to go, do you know? This one comes up and grabs Dallas's arm, right? Says, hey, do you need your arm? It looks really nice. And I shit you not. And he looks at Felix. She's looking like she was ready to eat that thing. She was drooling on her and everything.
Literally drooling.
If she had the canine ears to pin back, it would be happening, as is the equivocal human body language is made use of. Her head kind of jerking back a bit.
Now, I stepped in. And Dallas questions me. Looks at Felix. Questions my judgment. When they were wanting to take her off somewhere. Alone.
I know when I meet strange people in bars, my first urge is to drug them? ?
They were comfortable with us in our rage. 10 point. The bartender was shitting himself when me, Dallas, and Felix were in the same place. These people weren't.
You said they were gathered around Dallas when you got there?
Pretty much, weren't they? He kind of looks over.
Yeah, he was
around in a room.
She was more specifically in the thick of it. Separated by us, fraternizing with that one loudmouth fucking
cunt. He just says it, cunt. Quite bluntly. No
distinctive bristle.
There's a lot of venom in his voice when he says it.
Is she aware that they are not human, Raya?
Admittedly, her judgment was impaired, so I don't know.
Does she know now that they are not human, Raya?
Didn't bother asking.
Considering the list of what may or may not dwell in this city, the chances of whatever they are being a good thing are
slim,
virtually non-existent.
We told her to be careful. What else can we do?
She's in a rune.
Yeah.
They're not known for caution, Raya.
They should be known for common fucking sense. He kind of looks at some point like, that doesn't matter. Rune or no. I guarantee if you told Skovgard or fucking even William White this freaky thing was trying to bite your fucking arm off, they'd be apprehensive at least.
Probably try to kill it.
Yeah.
Threat of violence is not always a compelling reason to an Arun. They are a constant threat of violence.
Wait, but the point is that this was something that we knew nothing about, only that it was unaffected by our rage.
Yes, the greater point would be that they're clearly not human. There's the chance now and again that a human can approach a guru, but generally not willingly and certainly not in groups. I was in fact very suspicious because when Katja walked into that group of protesters, there were one or two who walked straight towards her. The rest
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
scattered. And I am apprehensive of that kind of behavior.
You should maybe mention that. Hey, look at Felix.
Sorry, what?
You should mention that to Katja, just in
What's
case
that?
it's not a trap.
When she
One of the groups of-
approached the protesters, most of them scattered. Two, however, made an immediate beeline for her to speak to her. I was not pleased with the ease with which they did so, Raya.
Did they suggest anything?
I believe they are how she made contact, Raya, with the ones who would grant her the ability to enter.
Then we may already be fucked from the gate.
We might be, but it's better to check these things. From what she said, these were the protesters against the company. So
She also does not have the ability to scent the true nature of a creature yet.
yeah,
Or Beta,
many
perhaps,
things
could
Katja.
try.
He grumbles under his breath. You know, this is stupid. You know, get Balian to look at it.
But there is no proper telling without a glance across.
Hmm.
And even then, it could be inconclusive, Raya. But with the gauntlet returning to normal, if you take this tour and you meet one of them again, you may be able to glance into a window or a one-way mirror and see if there's something clinging to them, Raya.
Mm-hmm.
It's something to keep an eye on.
Right.
And at that point, her eyes kind of blink a little bit wider. Raya, does it occur to her that those could have been Fomori?
Who? Katja?
The things at the bar that were willing to eat Dallas's arm. Did any of you sense the worm?
You're more concerned about getting her out of there.
Admittedly, I
That's why he honestly says. You know.
admittedly I didn't. The Fomori I've encountered seem more irritable.
Yeah, if that was Fomori, the action I took, they would have all swarmed me. Because I got you look at Felix. I got tense. 10 Point knows that 10 Point knows the look basically.
Yep. There are those who, I suppose, are either... There is a vast array of types of Fomori Raya, and some are more responsive to violence than others, and some have been around longer and have more control than others.
There was a group I met before in a bar, and they were able to talk to Will and Chloe at the same time and not even bat an eyelid. And Chloe knew them. Said they were different.
Different is hardly a helpful description.
Oh, I know plenty about that. And he'll look over at Felix with a smile. We know plenty about that.
Yeah.
But this is why I'm wary of Dallas, because I think you saw my explanations of it. Her attitude.
I did not understand the reason for it before, Ryan, but it makes sense now.
Exactly. And that's her attitude. Do you know if you look very calmly at Felix. Did you talk to her about it at all?
Yeah. After you guys headed off the other day.
What'd she say?
She said she's gonna see her again.
Takes a rage. Builds. You can see it straight in his face, both of you. It just begins to slowly crack in his hand as he's shaking, you know.
10-point
You watch.
tactically shifts her position back next to Aiden's chair, where her antler is conveniently very, very close to the armrest. In fact, it's practically resting against it.
She what?
She's yeah.
He just cracks his neck.
Already.
She fucking stupid. You know, he just says it quite bluntly. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. She'd say a wise thing or two every once in a while, but damned if her actions don't speak louder.
She wants to become a foster.
It's easier for our owns, as I'm told.
Again,
Fostering's
Ryan,
never easy.
the threat of potential violence is not going to be much discouragement to someone who wins. She probably doesn't see the threat outside of the potential violence.
And that's why she's not ready. It says actually very solemnly.
She brings up that exact point. Someone that usually wins. If I'm not there to tell it, I'd like one of you to tell her that it only takes that one loss.
He just nods. Aye, it does.
A one loss that
I tried to tell
there's no coming back from.
He just nods. Aye.
10
I tried
point
to tell
gives
her
her.
myself. She's not.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go. You go ahead first. You go ahead.
Oh, yeah. As they're speaking, 10 points just kind of idly and thoughtlessly rubbing at her lower back.
Yeah. Well, he thinks, stroking his chin. I tried to tell her myself she's not ready, but that's her attitude.
Well, I know that if I'm the one who gets to tell her that, she contests me or tries to argue against it. I'm going to tell her the tale of Fangs of Sobek. We went in there ready to take on that Weaver stronghold. And he fell. Not because of a misstep. Not because of a miscalculation, really. What it came down to is what was waiting for us in that building was stronger than we could have known. But we fought. In the end, we won. But not without a cost.
Yeah.
And if we have to be the ones to tell her, to remind Dallas, she could be that cost.
I tried. But as you look at 10 points, you think she got the message?
No, she has a hand already lofted and will set it kind of like in a calming fashion, just like on his knees since she's knelt next to his chair. And that's what's closest. Raya, would you like me to speak to her in my way?
If you need to, but I don't really see the point if she's going to do that.
Perhaps
If you feel like it.
If she views it as advice rather than as some manner of contest or order, she will be more willing to listen and to think on what she is being told.
He smirks to himself and shakes his head. She's a get of Fenris. She should be used to be getting orders.
I'm sure she is, Raya, but not all of us respond well to orders. There's a reason that I am the one who speaks to Jacob.
Like I said, she needs to learn. It's all well and fine being the big bad Arun, but the big bad Arun needs to learn from everybody else in order to be the big bad Arun. Otherwise, you're just a walking, talking liability.
Perhaps, Raya. I merely offer because the urges are often considered a source of wisdom. And while I will not say for even a moment that I doubt Felix's wisdom, there has been some measure of competition between the three of you at any given time. But I am I'm not a challenger.
If you want to advise her that, if you want to advise Dallas, you can. But as far as I'm concerned, her own fucking funeral if she's that stupid. Just says it very matter-of-factly, slams the bottle onto the table.
There's a wince when
Don't
the
waste
bottle
time for
slams.
stupidity. And if she's trying to join this pack, I can guarantee a Banshee won't waste time with stupidity. Kind of looks at 10 point, am I wrong, you know?
I was about to claim some tactical silence. Beginning to wonder whether tactical silence is a good idea anymore now that I've been directly addressed.
No, you're not. Felix nods.
That's why Banshee's the fucking alpha. You know, he says very just, you know, like proudly. So, if you want to advise her, Omega, you can. But just remember, if that's her attitude when the harsh truths are pointed out, just be wary of what she does when you try placate.
It is worth a shot, Raya. You can say that actions speak louder than words, but many of her actions have been to our benefit, directly, even above her own. I feel that it is worth making this gesture.
Of course. No, I'm not saying it. If you want to go ahead, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. It's just... it sends out the wrong message, if that's her attitude. When friends try to advise her. Not out of spite, not out of orders. We try to advise, because we're the more experienced. We've been around that.
Of course, Ryan.
That's all.
There's
But at your discretion, Omega. He'll smile. Not in a threatening way, just out of very, like, you do your thing.
Thank you, Raya. We each, even in this pack, have our own tactics. That's why each of us is sometimes more suited to a conversation than another. I shall hope that mine suits the situation.
Might be an interesting topic to talk to Eric about. He says this to himself as he sips the beer slowly. Anyway, he kind of looks over. I need to talk to you about something, Felix.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know that really pretty Silverfang kinfolk?
Oh, I hadn't noticed.
The really one. The really pretty one.
Yeah,
You keep an eye on her for me.
I'll do what I can. I know I had my hands full with the twins.
I don't mean that way. Just keep an eye on her for me.
Boy, what do you mean that way? There wasn't a way.
It was totally away. The twins were drooling over you. You smart.
They were drooling over me, but not on me.
Did you let him?
No, I did not. I did not.
Why not? You could have been one of the family. You smile at him teasingly. It's pure teasing. You can see by that grin on his face.
Who knows? Maybe someday, he says, passing a
You're gonna marry a
glass.
Fiona. Gonna marry a Fiona girl, are you?
Who knows? I know that, I don't know. I could see marrying a redhead in my future.
Huh. Why not? Have multiple wives? How smart at him.
No. Not into that.
Nation's got to breed, Felix.
Yeah, well, make a few extra for me, will you?
Don't you worry. Smile with this big grin. Like I said, I know political marriage when I see them. Not uncommon among our tribe. I think she knows it as well. I had the first dinner with her. She shakes his head.
Oh, how'd that go?
She's a nice girl. He says that both of you, if you want, you can peony it because I'm gonna nip sub that.
Good choice. I'm gonna peony that. Oh, are we set up?
I'm about to. I didn't think we were going to need to. Oh, that's the wrong button.
Tell me
Oh,
that one.
that happened. Let me... Aha.
Yep. Prime real estate. Meanwhile, as he's looking, Felix pulls out an apple from his spider satchel and starts munching.
Shit. That's just the one success, not the greatest lie from Aidan Lynch.
Suck a dick. 2 7s and a 10.
So yeah, all of you see through Aidan and she goes, she's a nice girl, yeah. He feels really bad that she's really nice. Like, I mean really bad that she's nice. There's a layer of level guilt all over his face.
Is she now?
Oh yeah, she is.
Well, that's good. At least you're happy.
Suppose
At least you're happy with your decisions.
Happy with my decision. Aidan turns and looks at him. Felix, let me explain something to you about my tribe. Right there, right now, what this is, and 10 Point will agree, this is political. Pure political. This is a way for our pack to open up a brand new alliance. And Von Everett is friends with the Ardree. Do you know who the Ardree is, Felix?
Admittedly, no.
That's the High King of my tribe. I remember seeing him when I first came on Sept when I was a cub in Silver Tara. In all his glory. And that Von Everett guy is his friend.
I see.
These marriages happen in the Fianna. This is what you do to secure alliances in the nation. Among our tribe, particularly. I'm here to get to it as well.
Among many of the old world tribes, right?
Just nod. I may not, you'll say quite honestly, part of me may feel guilty. But we have a duty, Felix. I can't forsake my pack, despite... He's going to manip sub again.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna pay any of that shit.
3. Jesus, 10 point.
Yeah, no, nothing.
And personal feelings aside, I can't forsake duty.
I won't be one to judge, despite my judging, but so long as you're in the future when you have all of these multiple wives, so long as they're all aware and knowing.
Are you kidding? Felix, just are you kidding me, sir? Do you think I can let her know about her? Really?
10 point shoots a side glance.
Do you think I can let her know that I'm doing this? You know what she'll do.
All the more reason why I'm not happy it had to happen in the first place. I get it.
He kind of gives a stare, you know what I mean?
At least a little bit. Have you seen her?
Really? Doesn't matter, she's pretty. It's not got nothing to do with it.
Oh, oh yeah.
He stares at Felix. Do you really think I'm happy with this?
Yeah, I'm gonna be any of that shit. Nope.
I didn't read it. That's the worst time to fail.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, no, you can't. Yeah.
Damn it.
Well,
I mean, if you aren't manip subbing, you can give him whatever.
For now. No, but
I'm in episode because Aiden's trying to.
yeah, he is.
I failed. I got 1 success.
You were so ready to say you failed.
I was so ready because I saw the ones. I was like, oh, I failed. But yeah, no, he's keeping his face composed. I mean, if 10 point wants to read her Raya.
I mean, if you want to tempt me.
Go for it, Katie. Read your Raya.
Like a book.
Read your Raya. Yeah, like a book.
Wow, yeah. Yep. You know he's not happy in the slightest. Explains why he was so awkward. He has no romantic feelings for her in the slightest. There's an attraction there, but not romantic.
Ultimately, Felix sighs. He says, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. This is what we do for our tribe, for the nation. And this is how I keep her from hurting more.
Felix scoots a little closer, gives him a pat on the back.
Because if I tell her I did this, then she'll die knowing that the one person who's given her some will to live has done that. What kind of a monster would I be then?
No. She may not know, but is this something you can live with, Aiden? Whether she knows or not, knowing that you are the person who did that?
An episode? That's 2. That's 3.
Oh yeah, no, I can't even. I have a pool of 3, and Defender would win.
10 point wants to read her riot.
Defender wins. Ugh.
He'll crack his neck and stare Felix right in the eyes. If it means I keep her safe, and it means she doesn't die with me knowing I hate her, well, I did this to her, you're damn right I can't live with it. I care about her that much that I can take it.
God damn it, Aiden. God fucking. As hard as we try, we do. Fucking damn it.
Do you know, she asked me something. She asked me if I'd ever been in love before.
This ought to be good.
I told her, yeah. I am in love. And I think she thought it was her that I was in love with.
I don't think you wanted to tell me that. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear it.
Yeah, even 10 points looking a little down after that one.
She asked me an honest question, I gave her an answer, and I think she interpreted the answer to be about her. Judging from that smile she gave me. Do you want to know the funny thing?
Go ahead and tell me more things, Aiden.
She's dying, Felix. And that's all I'm thinking about the more I sit here wasting my time. It's the time ticking away I could be with her. Right into the end.
Well, nothing's stopping you. Short of your duties.
And what would you do, Felix, when you gave your entire life to being part of a tribe? You're everything. This is what I am.
Suppose I can just call myself lucky then. That I'm part of a tribe that doesn't much care about my dick.
It's nothing to do with being your dick. And he actually stands up. It's about sacrifices. We don't make the easy choice here. We do what's necessary. We failed a lot. But no matter how hard we fail, we try to fix ourselves again. That's why we paint ourselves. That's why we do these things. It's not about... And he just puts his beer on the table. That's why we're so passionate. And the one person I'd sacrifice all that for is going to be dead soon. And I'm left with that. So tell me, what would you do, Felix Sullivan? Be the man she wants you to be, or betray everything just for another selfish 5 minutes of our time?
Depends on how much those 5 minutes mean.
That's the question, isn't it? He's gonna nip sub to make sure he doesn't lose himself. Thinking about it.
Rhea, are you suggesting that you would be willing to forsake your tribe and the nation and all of your responsibilities for a woman? She's looking at Felix.
But I gotta beat Jorda.
You're not sure, Felix. You get everything he said is true. He is incredibly passionate, but you get the impression if there is that part of him that would drop it all for Darcy, and he's fighting with it.
And he looks at 10 Point. Says, suppose not. That was his minute sub.
See right through your shit.
I don't. I'm too being self-righteous.
Yeah. When he has that moment, when he's looking 10 Point in the eye, he's trying. He believes in his heart of hearts that he has a good defense up, and she just sees right through his poker face. That yeah, I would.
He is judged and found wanting. 10 Point files this away.
Fuck.
And he said no, like, right, just to make sure I didn't mishear anything.
Yeah. He said, no,
Okay.
I suppose I wouldn't.
In which case, she will, especially in light of seeing right through his shit, will then make a gesture to where, well, I guess he's not sitting next to her anymore. He's probably standing a step or two ahead of her.
Mm-hmm.
Then why would you ask this of my Raya? Why would you suggest that it is the right thing to do?
This isn't the hill I'm going to die on.
He carries the name of a dead house, Raya. It is, after all, Aiden Lynch Krause.
Lynch Krause. When did that happen?
A while back.
Did you... You haven't broken the litany, have you?
No. Just gives him a stare like, fuck.
10 Point
No,
is kind
dear
of
God.
taken aback. She's not sure how to translate that because but they're men. How could he get the name from doing that if they're men?
Yeah, that's it. He just has the same stare.
Does she say that?
No, it's pretty plain that she has no idea how this would work. Like,
Do they
because
both have that sort of puzzled, taken aback?
probably.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. Aiden's like,
Feels
there's no
like-
female to Gleaming Eye. What? You know?
There's a hole.
Raya,
Really,
that
Phoenix.
does not make for an exchange of names.
Do you
They
know
are
how
not
big? Do you know how
wed.
Well, no, but I mean, like, you looked at me like that wasn't really a... You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
Raya, our beta, adopted Aiden into his house.
The same Banshee as well.
You'll have to forgive me.
Because everything he has is dead, Felix.
I heard.
With the rare exception,
he's the
Raya,
one.
this is House Gleaming Eye.
Yeah. We're Fianna, but we're also Gleaming Eye. You'll nod. And we'll do that for our packmate. Because we care. I care. Banshee cares.
Just in case it was missed, 10 point is very pointedly left off this list.
And he'll look over, he will look over. And in her own way, we care about our Omega.
Oh no, I more meant that she doesn't have that last name. Ain't no Metis gonna be in that
no,
house.
basically, yeah, he's talking about it anyway. He knows she wouldn't be never be accepted in. He's like, whatever. He didn't even think it was a thing. But yeah, for Felix, 10 points out there. And, so what would you do, Felix, if you promised the people that you would die for versus the person that has given you something that you never thought you'd find? Answer me that, and you might understand what the weight I carry.
I won't bother with you then. I won't bother you with it anymore, but I can't say I agree.
There's many things in the nation people don't agree with. But at the same time, we do our duty, Felix. It's what we were bred for, and it's what we die for. I'll roll some in sub. Oh, just the one.
Seeing through your shit.
The two seeing through your shit.
He totally believes that that's what we're bred to die and do. But there is that regret that he can't have what he really wants plain across his face.
Felix stands up, and he does something that he doesn't really do with much of anyone. 10 Point has never seen him do this, but Felix gets real close to Aiden, and then he gives him a hug.
Oh, yeah. There's a long hug reciprocated back. Eventually, they'll awkwardly pull away. The awkward bro. Pull away, like fix themselves, basically.
Yep. Brushes off his shirt.
Aiden fixes his collar and yeah.
Yeah, you catch the Jets game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Just shrugs.
Sudden perk. Raya, didn't you say that we needed to speak to Fireman Ed? I did not realize he was a real person.
There. Are you well versed in sports? 10 Point.
No, Raya.
Bahamut's play this game called baseball, and all of these sports, no matter what they are, they have a representative of the sport, usually in a comic fashion, used to inspire their followers and their believers, their fans.
And thus the spirit.
Yes, the spiritual manifestation of the Tellurian's actual mascot.
Raya, would it mean ill of the spirit then if his physical reflection is in the hospital?
Is he in the hospital?
So the news article said.
Yeah, she'll actually kind of hop up up on her knees instead of sitting back and reach over onto wherever Baleen has left one of the papers and offer it over.
He'll take the paper with a slight Jesus Christ. This is I'm reading the news like a goddamn pilgrim.
Like a goddamn pilgrim.
And
you need me to pull up the article for you?
Well, no, I'll check it out later. But when he sees it, he'll be like, "The situation with Fireman Ed is worse than I thought."
Maybe we should go make sure he's all right.
Yeah. I'll I don't know. I had a conversation with Kumbhakarna.
What does the mighty Kumba need? Says that with extreme sarcasm.
Well, the mighty Kumbhakarna wishes to be more involved with what's happening with King Bragos and the problems associated. I believe that given the task of seeing the Fireman Ed, seeing what happened, seeing what's wrong, and bringing that information back.
You do realize this is Kumba we're talking about here? The man can't find his arse if his bollocks was on fire.
Lucky then, probably all he has to do is talk to the spirit without pissing it off.
Just tell him to keep his head down and not do anything stupid. And if he acts as dumb as a wooden trumpet, tell him I'll hit him a smack.
I'll hit him a smack myself. Yeah.
Hayden just shakes his head.
He puffs his
There's just plain dislike for Kumba all over his face. Just tell him to do his thing and not get in fucking trouble. Last thing we fucking need.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Felix looks at 10 Point. We have a meeting with Queen Tibia, Queen of Cats.
You have a meeting with a queen and he didn't bring me? He kind of raises an eyebrow with this hurt expression on his face.
It is a spirit, Ryan.
It is a spirit, Yuff.
Oh, it is? I see. Just nod slowly.
You chased the last spirit I talked to you with.
That was not me. That was Dallas. Just quite firmly. But fine, go meet Queen Tibia. Sure, she's nice. He's walking back over to get more beer from the house.
I'm going to assume there's no, it's all facetious even in Pack Link. There's no, leakage.
He gets to meet the spirit without me.
Yeah, it's all sass.
That's basically, yeah, there's so much sass, it's not even funny. He even does this big over-dramatic walk as well as he's walking.
Sachet.
The one on my timeline.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Just fine.
10 Point will be relieved with the now uplifted mood and feel fairly safe, leaving him to his own devices for the moment, it seems, as she will stand and dust her knees. Then let us go.
What now?
You phrased it in such a way, Ryan.
Oh, yeah, that's my bad. I kind of have this thing that I got to do actually kind of now-ish.
Brow quirk?
It
Mostly because he's hedging a lot?
It has to do with the tentacles. I'm following a lead outside of New York, and it's very covert. So
As you wish, Ryan. She'll turn back with sass ringing in her brain.
And yeah,
And we'll probably go ahead and move to get him that beer that he's whining about in her head.
and at that point, they've gone inside. Felix will offer a wave before he, heads off and packs his bags.
Oh boy. Well, then I guess with sass ringing in 10 Point's head and her just getting him the damn beer and letting him continue to sass, because you know what, the alternatives are pretty bad. We will say,
you see him just going zzz at all his kinfolk basically as he's storming around.
she'll placate him with beer, much beer. Try to get him to stop pissing off the kinfolk. And so with that, I'm going to say thank you, players, for playing, and watchers for watching. We'll see you next time on the Living World of Darkness, Antics Across New York.